Signing of the Magna Carta 1250. The Magna Carta is an important agreement in the history of England. In the early 13th century, England was under the rule of the Plantagenet dynasty, led by King John. King John had many enemies who were dissatisfied with the excessive tyranny and unjust rule of the nobles and other aristocrats. The nobles were trying to reduce the pressure from the king in order to have extensive powers and the ability to govern independently on their own estates. King John was struggling with financial difficulties and was unsuccessful in wars, so he was trying to collect significant amounts of taxes from the nobles. The nobles were opposing King John's arbitrary tax collection policies and unjust imprisonment sentence. In 1214, King John suffered a heavy defeat in a war with French barons. This defeat caused the nobles to further rebel against King John and unite against him. Important figures such as Stephen Langton, William Marshall, and Robert Fitzwalter were among those who led this union. The nobles were demanding more rights and freedoms from King John. In 1215, King John was forced to submit to the dominant power of the nobles and agreed to sign an agreement at Runnymede. This agreement is known as the Magna Carta and guarantees the rights of imprisoned nobles and free peasants. The Magna Carta is one of the first documents that emphasizes the independence of justice from political power. It forms an important element of constitutional order, defining the limits of government and safeguarding freedoms. The Magna Carta aims to protect courts from arbitrary arrests and unfair trial process. This agreement safeguards many fundamental freedoms such as personal property rights, fair taxation practices, and freedom of movement. The Magna Carta also encouraged the acceptance of principles such as fair governance and the rule of law. The signing of the Magna Carta is a turning point that influenced the feudal monarchical system. This agreement laid the foundation for many fundamental freedoms and legal principles expressed in English history. The Magna Carta was reorganized and updated several times in the following years. Different versions of this agreement later became part of England's constitutional development. Immediately after the signing of the Magna Carta, King John refused to comply with the terms of the agreement. This situation led to a conflict known as the First Barons' War. The barons and their supporters fought to protect the rights of the Magna Carta and to free themselves from the oppressive actions of King John. In 1217, after the death of King John, his son Henry Roman III ascended to the throne and reconfirmed the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta is considered an important document that influenced and inspired other constitutional documents in history. It had an influence on documents such as the United States Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. The legal and political impact of the Magna Carta continued for many years and contributed to democratic principles. Today, the Magna Carta carries symbolic meaning and is considered a symbol of the rule of law, fair governance, and individual freedoms. The importance of the Magna Carta is recognized as a major turning point in both historical and legal terms. Today, the development and implementation of the Magna Carta symbolize the belief in the rule of law and democratic principles. The Magna Carta has made a significant contribution to the legal and freedom history of England and the world. This agreement still has a significant impact on the preservation of fundamental rights and freedoms in democratic societies. The Magna Carta continues to stand as a defender of human rights and justice. In conclusion, the signing of the Magna Carta was a significant turning point in English history and paved the way for the preservation of rights and freedoms.